Attorney for the APNU in the Linden Commission of Inquiry hearings, Basil Williams, today made it clear to the commissioners that the Minister of Home Affairs, Clement Rohee, ought to be called to appear before the commission, since the terms of reference covers his role and begs for recommendation for the police force. The commission had appeared not too clear about whether the minister should make an appearance. Today, Williams said he must.
Yes, sir.
It is on the basis of the evidence adduced here that this commission is going to make its recommendations relative to the police force.
But, sir,
the minister has not aware of the evidence which has been given.
Sir, the minister is the only person who could tell you about how he executes his policy function vis-a-vis the guy in the police force. He has to tell you about calls to police officers that the records show that there's no way the minister cannot come, because he has to. We have questions to the minister in terms of a more effective functioning of our force. So the minister cannot escape coming here on the basis that other people didn't give evidence against him. There's evidence against him anyway, that he called Mr. Hickens immediately after the shootings on the bridge, the day. So there's no way the minister could escape coming for the purposes of assisting you to make recommendations for a better functioning police force. You have seen 3 senior policemen come to you, and each of them give a contrary or contradictory account about how the force is supposed to function. People have been killed. We're trying to avoid our people being killed.
The attorney said, too, that there are certain issues that popped up during the hearings that the minister must address before the commission.
And I would like to know that the minister really doesn't intend to come and assist this commission of inquiry. I wouldn't like to believe that's what's happening. But
just in what way?
Sir, for you to make recommendations for more effective and better functioning police force. Because he is pivotal. He has to tell you how he operates vis-a-vis the police force. He has to tell you what the policy direction for the force, how, in terms of how that particular exercise was executed in Linden. Is his function and policy about weaponry, about bullets and ammunition? He has to deal with those things, shields for policemen.
Minister Clement Rohee could be called as early as next week. Meanwhile, late yesterday on the stand, Police Constable Rodney, who testified that he fired shots in the air 4 times on July 18 in the vicinity of the bridge, said he had his weapon with him up to 5 days after the protest, and he does not know who signed for him in the police weapons book as having returned the weapon the next day.
And is it your signature there?
No, sir.
So somebody put your name on the 18th as having returned that shotgun?
Sergeant English lodged this firearm for me, sir.
On the 18th?
No, sir.
Well, what date is recorded there as the weapon being lodged?
The 18th.
But on the 18th you had the weapon, didn't you?
Correct.
So it wasn't possible that that weapon could have been lodged on the 18th?
No, sir.
The signature for the lodging?
No, I don't recognize that signature,
You
ma'am.
don't recognize that signature?
It's not my signature.
And your evidence to this commission is that you had that weapon 5 days in your possession. You answered me that earlier on.
I was in possession of that weapon.
When Police Sergeant English was called back to the stand, he was pulled over the fire for falsifications in the police force's weapons diary covering the Linden police stations.
Mr. English, what you have certified as correct here, let me understand you, because I do understand about extracts from police diaries, that this is a correct extract from page 152 that you are shown there. That's what you have certified, right?
Yes, sir.
And in fact, in 3 particulars that I've pointed out to you, they are incorrect.
Yes, sir.
And you put your name to that as if those were the entries in the original book. That's what you did.
Yes, ma'am, I did that.
And if we had not seen the original book, no one would have been the wiser but you.
No, ma'am.
3 persons were shot dead during the protest action at the Wismar-Mackenzie Bridge on July 18. Several witnesses, including police officers, have so far testified that the police were the only ones there with guns on that day and the only ones firing shots.